Did you like the home run derby last night? Did you like the rules changes? Did it work for Major League Baseball?
Yes, I thought it was outstanding. I think the bracket style really added a lot to it. I think the players were even more into it. You know, you saw guys on the sideline, the guys who went first, waiting to see what the next guy was going to do. And you had these great matchups like Prince Fielder against the hometown guy, Todd Frazier. I think 4 minutes was the perfect amount of time for each player. I think they got into a rhythm. No guys really laid an egg. I thought it was an awesome, awesome show.
I pointed at you, and you can see us, but I pointed at you because baseball got lucky. It was supposed to rain last night, and so they cut it from 5 minutes to 4 minutes, and I went, how lucky are you? Because 5 minutes, they were beginning to drag at the 4 minute mark when you're swinging that fast. But I would tweak it a little bit, but you're absolutely right. I was trying to make some dinner, and I didn't even want to take a break because I was enjoying it so much that, you know, they'd take a commercial break, but I thought it was fantastic. My good friend who works for ESPN was getting a little bit overworked about smoking Frazier, making references, but I thought it was fantastic too.
And the players seemed to be into it.
Yeah, the players, I mean, I think it was a really great crop of players too, because you had a great showcase of young talent like Jock Peterson and Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Manny Machado. And then mid-market guys who don't have a lot of exposure, like Frazier and Josh Donaldson from the Blue Jays. And then your veterans like Fielder and Pujols, who always add to it and bring something to the table. And then the guys who weren't competing, you know, it never dragged like the ones in years past did, where guys would take this pitch and then take that pitch and then take that pitch and wait for a meatball and never got into a rhythm. And this, it was just pitch after pitch. And Peterson hit 5 home runs in a minute. And then, you know, Frazier is lighting the stadium on fire. It was an incredible show.
I would tell you guys, the only thing that I came away from with that I would tweak, by the way, we should mention that I don't know whether the All-Star game is next year, but Cincinnati helped out because that's a home run hitter's ballpark. And I was thinking, I don't know where the All-Star game is next year, but I hope it's a hitter's ballpark or they bring in the wall.
I think it's I know Washington and Miami are slated to host it. I don't know what the order is, but I know those two stadiums have it.
Well, we'll figure it out before you get off. But would you like, though, as we get further into it, and I thought there was an advantage for the guy that got the longest amount of time in between, that maybe that you do 2.5 minutes and you sit down and the other guy you're against comes up and does 2.5 minutes and then you do it again. Am I making sense?
Yeah, instead of taking a timeout.
I thought it was a little unfair that the guys who went second always had the advantage, it seemed to me.
Right, and I think Anthony Rizzo in particular got jobbed because he went first out of everyone, and you saw in his first minute he was just pitch after pitch, and there wasn't a pace or a rhythm, and he had 8 home runs that round, which was the lowest all night. And I'm sure if he saw another guy do it and say, okay, it has to be more deliberate and slower, maybe I'll hit more home runs that way. But yeah, the guys who went first, they did have a pretty distinct disadvantage.
He's Jordan Rabinowitz of the website LostLetterman.com, brought to you by Papa John's, the official sponsor of the Colorado Rockies. Hey, Jordan, I'm watching last night, and I realized with all that young talent, this game is in really good hands going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible. And to think that guys like, you know, Giancarlo Stanton is injured, so he's not even there. Trout and Harper weren't even in the Derby. The crop of under 25 talent in the league right now is almost unprecedented. And then you have guys like Joey Gallo, who spent some time with the Rangers this season, and then guys who are even just on the other side of 25, like McCutchen. I mean, it's almost like endless. It's an endless waterfall of talent.
Here's my question. Who's going to win tonight? Because it means so much. It's going to be the 7th game in the World Series. It goes that far. Which is the stronger team? Who would you take, Jordan, if you and I bet a Diet Dr. Pepper?
It sounds delicious right now. I think I would take the National League. I just love the pitching. You have Greinke starting, and then Kershaw. You know, his numbers kind of lie a little bit. He's really having a spectacular season, and especially recently. And then Garrett Cole and Jacob deGrom. I think that it's hard to predict an All-Star game, but I'll just give the edge to the pitching. and I'll say the National League.
Who will be the MVP? That's one of his questions today. Who do you think will be the MVP?
I'm going to say Todd Frazier. I'm going to say if he had the clutch hit or two. Major League Baseball isn't afraid to play favorites at home. You know, Mariano Rivera got 2 outs 2 years ago, I think, and won the MVP award. And he was retiring, so it was different. But that was in New York, and I think if Frazier has a good at bat or two, they won't be afraid to just give it to him there in Cincinnati.
That'd be a perfect cap to the festivities. He wins the home run derby. He gets the MVP of the game. Yeah, for Cincinnati.
One of the other Cincinnati, Pete Rose gets MVP for the 5-minute ovation.
Wins an Emmy for his
I have a question
job
for
on
both
Fox.
of you. So I heard last night that 87% of the teams that are leading their divisions at the All-Star break go on to be in the playoffs. Who is of that 13% ilk? Who do you guys think will give up winning their division? Start with you, Jordan.
Okay. I think in the American League, I'm going to say the Yankees because that division is just it's so tight right now, and I think the Red Sox are really the only team that's kind of out of it, and they're only 6 or so games back. So, you know, Baltimore or Toronto can make a push, especially if Toronto acquires some pitching. And in the National League, I think the Cardinals. Pittsburgh has come on really strong recently, and I think there's just more. There's more separation in the East with the Nationals. You know, I don't think the Mets are going to come close to them by the end of the season, and I do think the Dodgers are eventually going to run away with the West too. So I'm going to say the Yankees and the Cardinals.
All right. Well, you took the two I was going to take, but I'll play devil's advocate here. I think if the Dodgers don't get healthy and San Francisco does something unusual and picks up some help in the lineup at the trading deadline, I think the Giants, with that history they have, with that know-how, they might be able to catch the Dodgers. Dodgers have a lot of pitching problems.
The Giants aren't going to catch the
I'm
Dodgers.
just throwing it out there, okay?
But now it's on record.
Well, I was going to take the Baltimore. I think Baltimore, especially if Ubaldo continues to pitch the way he's pitching, I think Baltimore can end up taking the AL East.
I also think we should keep an eye on where Johnny Cueto is going to go because he's going to make a big impact for whoever gets him.
Yeah, might end up in L.A. And then I'm not taking the Giants.
Now he's not. But we wanted it on record so that when you come back with us, we could go, that he was wrong. But
I'll be right there.
Jordan, what's your Twitter handle?
Jordan Rab.
Jordan Rab. All right.
You can follow Lost Letterman at Lost Letterman.
And people who love college football especially need to go to lostletterman.com.
Yeah, we just had a redesign. We finally entered the 21st century, mobile optimized. The site is just cleaner. Interface is easier to use, so please come by if you are a college football or basketball fan.
Yeah,
very cool.
Everybody do that again.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Jordan Rabinowitz. And all live guests brought to you by Papa John's. They're the official sponsor of the Colorado Rockies. The day after every Rockies win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. Got to be online. papajohns.com. Use the promo code ROXWIN, ROXWIN.